Hey everybody, it's Marissa Says Things. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a while. I've been uploading videos here and there, but you may have noticed if you've been watching them that they're not really the same quality of my older work, which bothers me. And I'm going to explain that, but I'm also going to explain why I haven't been uploading as much. Because I just graduated from college, one thing that happened is that I lost all of my equipment, or I lost access to the equipment that I was using and that I had gotten comfortable using or comfortable learning how to use, and it allowed me to make movies of a certain quality, and it was helping me develop my filmmaking voice in a way that I wanted to be developing it. So losing the access to that really took a toll on my creativity, I guess I should say, because suddenly it was, okay, I have this idea and I know how I would make it if I had this equipment, but I don't anymore. So what I have now and what I could make now is going to be subpar, and it felt like a step back. And that's difficult for me because I'm always trying to learn and always trying to improve and grow. So that was tough. But something that I'm realizing now, after stepping away from film for a while and realizing that I still want to do it, is that that's when people get most creative, is when they don't have resources. So the fact that I have less resources means that I get to be more creative now than I would if I had access to all of the equipment I ever wanted. People who like making things are a lot of times really hard on themselves, and people in general are really hard on themselves, but when you're making something and it's a big process, you're putting a lot of yourself into it, and it can be really nerve-wracking to put that into the world when you don't feel like it's good enough. And for me, I'm a perfectionist, especially when it comes to creative things. So in my mind, a lot of times, if I can't make it the way that I see it in my head, or I can't make it in a way that I'm going to be proud of, I don't want to make it at all. Or I'll make it for practice, but I don't want to necessarily show it to anybody because I don't want my name to be on something in the public eye that I'm not proud of. So that's difficult because the best way to learn to make things is to keep making them. And you have to be bad before you can get better. And that makes sense. That really does. But it's easier said than done. So, lately I've been writing a lot, which is another reason why I've been really not present on YouTube, because writing takes a lot of time and effort and thought. So I have scheduled times for creative writing, poetry, and playwriting, but I didn't have anything scheduled for filming. So because of that, my attention was going consistently to these other creative places, and film kind of fell by the wayside. But I'm lucky to have people in my life who inspire me and remind me why I do what I do, and who bring film back into my sphere. Another piece of advice is don't compare yourself to others, and that's something that I was getting bogged down in a lot, and I still am getting bogged down in a lot. Especially as a recent graduate, it's difficult to not look around you and see where everyone else is and wonder why you aren't there too. But it's your journey, it's not anybody else's, and that's something that a lot of people have said that it's helpful to end up back on. For me, I've started realizing that it is okay for me to compare myself to others if it's productive. If it's saying, oh, I really admire this artist, why do I admire this artist? What do they do successfully that I want to emulate in my work? That's fine. That's healthy. I think that's trying to not copy someone, but that's honing your taste so you can hone your voice as an artist. And that's okay in my book. So I've been trying to stay with that and not let it go into, why don't I write like this person, and either writing like another person, which is something I don't want to do, or becoming so discouraged because this person has this level of superficial success. You're not going to know the countless hours that someone put into a project. And that's okay, because for all of my projects, people aren't going to know the amount of time that I put into it and the amount of work that I put into it. But that's the point. It's okay to be a perfectionist. It's okay to compare yourself to others to learn, but don't let the pursuit of perfection and the comparison of yourself to other artists or styles or anything like that stop you from making things. Life comes at you, but you have to adapt. From now on, I want to start doing portraits of places. So portraits of places teaches me how to engage with a place and figure out how I want it to come across to an audience and how to tell a story just through visuals. And it's also helping me figure out what information needs to be present when setting time, place, all of that kind of stuff. So it's something that I hope that I can keep up with. So if you're an aspiring filmmaker and you want somewhere to start, that's a really easy exercise that you can go for. So I wish you the best of luck. So that's how I'm going to be going forward. I'm just going to remember that I don't have the same equipment, I can't do the same projects, because I have gotten questions about like, oh, why don't you do another Hidden Gems, or why don't you do this or that, and the fact is that I can't with the equipment that I have right now, but I can still do something. Progress isn't linear. Progress, there are high times, there are low times, and that's just how it goes. So it's good for me to remember that I'm still learning, even if it feels like I took a step back, it's actually an opportunity to learn something new.